The Battleship Mountain wildfire was one of the most devastating fires in B.C. this year. It started by lightning in late August and quickly grew to over 300 square kilometers, an area larger than the city of Kelowna. The fire threatened the district of Hudson's Hope and the Peace River Regional District in Northeast B.C., forcing them to issue evacuation orders in early September. Hudson's Hope is a small community of about 1,000 people, located about 360 kilometers northeast of Prince George. It is also home to two major hydro dams, the W.A.C. Bennett and Peace Canyon dams, which provide much of the province's electricity. The fire came dangerously close to these critical infrastructure, as well as to the homes and businesses of the residents. On September 10th, the entire community of Hudson's Hope was ordered to evacuate, as the fire was advancing east and was only 8 kilometers away from the district's edge. The evacuation order also covered the two hydro dams, which were only 4 kilometers away from the flames. Hydro said it had well-established plans to operate the dams remotely if needed, and that it had limited staff on site to monitor the situation. The evacuees had to leave their homes and belongings behind, not knowing if they would ever see them again. They were directed to a reception center in Fort Street, John, where they could get supplies and support. Some of them stayed with friends or relatives, while others had to find hotels or campgrounds. They tried to stay strong and hopeful, but they also felt anxious and scared. The Battleship Mountain wildfire was not easy to control, as it was burning in rugged terrain with dry and windy conditions. The B.C. Wildfire Service deployed hundreds of firefighters, helicopters, and heavy equipment to fight the blaze. They also used infrared mapping to track the fire's behavior and plan their strategies. They faced many challenges and hazards, such as falling trees, steep slopes, and poor visibility. The fire continued to burn for weeks until rain and cooler temperatures finally helped slow it down in late September. On September 17th, the evacuation order for Hudson's Hope was lifted, as the fire was no longer threatening the community or the dams. The residents were able to return to their homes, which were mostly spared by the fire. They were relieved and grateful, but also aware of the damage and recovery that lay ahead. The Battleship Mountain wildfire was downgraded to being held on September 25th, meaning that it was not likely to spread beyond its boundaries under current and forecasted conditions. It was also removed from the list of wildfires of note, as it no longer posed a risk to public safety or values. The fire crews remained on site to patrol the area and deal with any remaining hot spots or danger trees. The Battleship Mountain wildfire was one of the worst fires in BC's history. It burned for more than a month and covered an area twice the size of Salt Spring Island. It forced more than 1,000 people to evacuate their homes and threatened vital power infrastructure. It also left a trail of smoke and ash that affected air quality across the province. But thanks to the efforts of firefighters and the help of rain, it was finally brought under control. And thanks to that rain, the day was saved for Hudson's Hope and its residents. The residents of Northeastern B.C, who had to flee their homes and businesses due to the threat of wildfires, can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Thanks to the heavy rain that fell over the weekend, all evacuation orders related to the fires have been lifted or downgraded to alerts. The Peace River Regional District announced on Monday evening that it had canceled the evacuation orders for properties affected by the Stoddard Creek Fire and the Donnie Creek Fire. These two fires were among the largest and most dangerous in the region, burning over 13,000 square kilometers of land combined. The rain also helped firefighters contain the fires and reduce their spread. As of Tuesday morning, there were only 3 wildfires of note in northeastern BC, and only one of them was still out of control. The Stoddard Creek Fire and the Red Creek Fire were both being held by fire crews. The evacuation orders had been in place since last week, forcing hundreds of people to leave their homes and businesses behind. Some residents had to stay in hotels or with relatives, while others camped in their vehicles or trailers. The uncertainty and stress of the situation took a toll on many people. But on Saturday morning, they received the good news that they could return to their properties and resume their normal lives. Many were eager to check on their homes, livestock, crops, and belongings. Some found minor damage from smoke or ash, while others were relieved to see everything intact. The rain that saved the day also brought some challenges, however. The River Forecast Center issued flood watches for much of East Central B.C., warning that the rapid snowmelt and rainfall could cause rivers to overflow and trigger floods or debris flows. Residents were advised to stay alert and prepared for possible flooding. Despite the risks, many residents were grateful for the rain and its role in dampening the wildfire threat. They also expressed their appreciation for the firefighters, emergency responders, and volunteers who worked tirelessly to protect their communities from the flames.